Hello, lovely viewers, and welcome to another episode of Play Sports Express News, where we give you nothing but the best. So, like I told you in our previous video about Millie Bright and her asking to be absent from the England women's national team, well, we've got update for you today. But before we go into her story, I'd kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel on the YouTube channel. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, our Facebook page. You can get the full details of our stories on our website, www.gladesportsexpress.com, and you can also follow us on X at Glades S Express. So remember, I told you Millie Bright was having issues where she told the England national team coach, women's national team coach, that she would want to be excused from duty for a while due to personal. It actually was personal reasons. Well, Millie Bright has fallen out with her fiancé and fallen in love with a married training partner. That's, well, I can't say that's bad or I can't say that's good, but this isn't something we haven't seen in football. It's something that always happens, like Ryan Giggs cheating on her wife with the brother's wife, like Kyle Walker having children outside marriage. Like, there's a couple of these things that normally happen in football, so or with athletes, and well, we just hope she finds what she's looking for. Although we are just hoping. So let's move straight to Brazil and to the camp of Carlo Ancelotti. Remember, Ancelotti left Real Madrid after some shambolic performances and tactics. Remember, he lost 5 games against Barcelona, and many people got angry. He had the stars, he had everything he needed, but well, Ancelotti didn't make any good use. Well, he moved to the Brazilian national team, and many thought, yeah, this is where he's going to shine. Well, guess what? Ancelotti's first test was against Ecuador in the World Cup qualifier. Well, let me give you a gist. Ancelotti started the same way with Real Madrid with a draw during the match. And then Vinicius Jr., who was trying to, should I say, console his coach or his former coach at Real Madrid, had this to say. Well, he said, Ancelotti hasn't had time to show his plan yet. He's only had 2 to 3 days to train with us. Bruh, it's not about 2 to 3 days. You have a star-studded team. You just need tactics. You already know the style of Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo goes. You know the style of Rafinha from the Spanish league. So I don't know what he's waiting for to gel into. But yeah, that's the issue. They played a draw, and yeah, I just hope Brazil qualifies for the World Cup, because we need Brazil in the World Cup to give one of those things. Well, boxing lovers. Today I'm giving you a gist. If you are into boxing, well, there is a fight going on in Accra, Ghana, somewhere in Africa, between Andrew Tabiti and Jacob Dickson under the American and Legacy Star Legacy Rising Star Promotions. Well, it is team Battle of the Beast. Well, those of you who know Jacob Dickson and Andrew Tabiti, I can assure you that there's going to be one of the fights that you would never, or you wouldn't want to miss. Manchester United has still submitted another bid for Brian Mbeumo for 60 million pounds. Well, remember, they've been trying to sign him for a while, but then this came after the Reds saw an initial offer of 45 million pounds plus 10 million pounds in add-ons rejected by Brentford. Should this banter even continue? I don't think Brian Mbeumo is at that level where he should be bought at that price. But anyways, back to Barcelona and back to Rafinha again. Rafinha has been voted the 2024-2025 Best La Liga player. Well, he had 27 goals contribution in the La Liga behind Mbappe, who had 34, and Lewandowski with 29. But this is a favoritism poll. It was votes. It's not like they just chose who was the best. They actually voted. So yeah, he's been voted as the best. And Gian Piero Gasperini has officially signed or joined AC Milan on a 3-year contract after his decision to leave at Atlanta. Well, this isn't something that should surprise anybody. You know, sometimes moving helps. French goalkeeper and AC Milan, the same AC Milan goalkeeper Mike Maignan, is still being chased by Chelsea. Well, many thought after the thrashing from Spain in the UEFA Nations League, Chelsea would have switched to a different player, but no. Chelsea are still eyeing the player and hope that he joins the club before the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, Grace Tame is an athlete or a runner who has an ambassador deal with Nike. Well, she had some comments about Israel, and then a probe into that comment has caused her to miss that ambassador deal. Well, nobody knows what. I haven't had time to look at what she said about Israel because I don't do politics. And this is all around politics. Israel, Gaza, Russia, Ukraine, all these politics. We are not into that. So we leave that one for the politicians. Remember, I told you former Manchester United goalkeeper Ben Foster has urged Manchester United to ditch Onana, like ditch Onana, Andre Onana, the same Spider-Man Onana, and go after Emi Martinez. And yes, Emi Martinez is one of the best goalkeepers in the EPL currently, no doubt about that. So yeah, I think that's something that one gem is seen in another gem. Well, RB Leipzig makes Ben Cisco request as Arsenal transfer talks escalate ahead of deal, but I don't think that's going to happen. Remember, Tottenham Hotspurs has sacked coach Ange Postecoglou. Yeah, they have sacked their manager. And this has become something emotional, you know, people didn't expect it. He just won a title for the club and people thought he was going to get a chance to play in the Champions League and win other trophies, but no, he's been sacked. Well, after he was sacked, the skipper of the side, Son, had this message for him. He said, Gaffer, you've changed the trajectory of this club. You believed in yourself and us since day one, and you never wavered for a second. Even when others did, you knew what you were capable of all along. You did it your way. You brought this club the best night of football. Well, that's one thing that happens. You never know. Maybe the club thinks it's not the best man to lead in Champions League. It's one of those things. Remember the shirts that Tottenham players wore to win that trophy. Well, Son, Van de Ven, and Johnson's jerseys have been put to auction. And trust me, the figures that these jerseys are generating is amazing. Son's jersey is currently rating at £22,671. Van de Ven's jersey is around £3,320. Whilst Johnson, the only person who scored a goal to win the trophy's jersey, is ranking around 2,799 with the possibility of it going higher. Well, Italy are the ones surprising me the most. Well, Italy has lost 2 consecutive World Cup qualifiers for the first time in their history. I remember the times of Paolo Maldini and Nesta. I remember the Del Pieros and Pirlos and Cannavaros. But that was the team, but now it's not. They have also not scored in 3 consecutive World Cup qualifiers for the first time in their history. Well, the most annoying, they are not my team, but the most painful part is they lost 3-0 to Norway. 3-0. Like France did even better because France came back to a 4. But Italy has lost like 3-0. I'm not even sure whether they are going to qualify for the World Cup, but we just hope they do. Well, I'll give you the teams and groupings for the FIFA Club World Cup. So in Group A, we have Palmeiras, Porto, Al Ahly, and Inter Miami. That's where Messi is. Group B, we have PSG, Atletico Madrid, Botafogo, and then S. Soundes. Group C, we have Bayern, Auckland City, Boca Juniors, and Benfica. At Group D, we have Flamengo, we have S. Tunis, Chelsea, and then Club Leon. On Group E, we have River Plate, Urawa Reds, Monterrey, and Inter. On Group F, we have Fluminense, Dortmund, Ulsan HD, and then Mamelodi Sundowns. Group G, we have Manchester City, Wydad, Al Ain, and then Juventus. While Group H, we have Real Madrid, Al Hilal, Pachuca, and then RB Salzburg. So these are the teams that are going to be competing for the FIFA Club World Cup at the in the USA. So today we want to say a very big or a very wide happy birthday to another legend of the game. He played in the English Premier League with Leeds United, a Ghanaian footballer who saw everything that he needed to see. He's given his dues. Today is his 59th birthday. We want to say a very big happy birthday to Tony Yagola Yeboah for his contribution to football. Well, remember, Arsenal are still on the verge of signing Leroy Sané, but I'm not sure because Bayern are not talking anything contractual with Leroy Sané. But Gabriel signs new contract extension with Arsenal. It's a long contract, is due to expire in 2029. So I think there's going to be some leeway for that player. Remember, Chelsea has still got a wonder kid from Brazil in the name of Estevão William Almeida de Oliveira Goncalves, aka Estevão William. He's 18 years old. If you've watched this player, I can tell you he's played in 3 fantastic roles. He's played in a 9, in a 7, and on 11 position. Well, he's a winger, he can attack, so he probably bring something good to the English team. I think so. So let's just hope that everything that they are trying to build, maybe for the Champions League or anything else, becomes better. Well, remember this boxer who is always talking, and many have thought he isn't that one to follow, but yes, he's made a lot of comment on social media. Many think it's time to put some boxes right. I'm talking about Keyshawn Davis. Well, Keyshawn Davis has a title defense against Edwin de Los Santos. Well, he's supposed to come in weight of 139.3 pounds. But this is him coming in with 4.3 pounds in excess of weight. Well, he is overweight coming into the bout. Well, this might cause him to be stripped of his title, but well, we wait to see what happens. Well, before we end this section and bring you another section in our next videos, I'd kindly ask you to subscribe to our channels once again. Just click on the notification button, like, share, comment, and then touch on everything that we've shared. You know, we are just new in the system, so the more criticism, the more we better for and give you concrete, not concrete, we still bring you concrete news, but we bring you more and more news, diverse news, boxing, hockey, cricket, rugby, football, boxing, tennis, all sports. You can also follow us on our TikTok channel. We have Instagram, Facebook page, any other page. Well, before I head off, see you.